On the rundown, how are you? How's the fam? How's Vivi doing?
Yeah, man, it's hard every day. Every day is something new. Thank God I get to experience what it's like to be a dad to my children. Because things could have went south, and it was a high percentage that we wouldn't be here if I wouldn't have turned myself in and cooperated. So it's a blessing to be able to be there for my children and have them depend on me as a dad. Right now that my wife's not here, so I get to experience new things every day. The good things, bro. The things that I value the most, like being a dad, like taking them to school, picking them up, making sure they eat, ironing their clothes, all that, it's a huge blessing. And then being able to be there for my wife, like the way she was there for me. It's weird, man. It's just weird to be in a situation with them being in prison and the roles being like reversed. It's I can't even explain it to you. It's crazy, but I do want to share that I did get to see her.
Okay, that's what's up.
So that was a blessing to me. God made it happen, and I can't even go into details about it yet.
No, of
But
course.
imagine what it felt like to, you know,
That's dope.
walk into a visiting room and then visit her, and then have to leave her there. That was probably the hardest thing I've ever done.
Yeah, bittersweet. You feel
But
like you getting the swing of shit though? Like you got your little system set up, how you do shit?
I mean, I'm trying my best. I pray about it every day to give me for God to give me strength. But like with my wife not being here, she's a size 5 in shoe, but they're humongous, bro. I can't fill those shoes. I try to, you know, take her place with my children, and I feel like I fail every day. But I'm trying. They're still alive. Something she likes to say. Hey, I didn't lose them.
Right, right.
It's a blessing to do all these things. Even at their age now, I get to like kind of feel what I missed out on for so long. Like those little things where they depend on me. And I'm going to the meetings at school and trying to feel comfortable around other parents, and it's it's weird how the simple things are like hard for others, like for me, the things that people take for granted every day. I'm trying to cheer my daughter on that dance, telling her not to miss a step. Imagine that.
Do you have moments or 24-hour period? And it's kind of hard because of where your wife is right now, you know what I'm saying? But do you have a 24-hour period where you could, where no, if nobody brings it up to you, you ain't thinking about what happened over the last 25 years? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that a
Thank God for
crazy?
the opportunities that I've been given, but like I feel like I'm on the grind the same kind of way, you know and maybe I don't feel the past with me, but I still feel like I'm doing new things, a lot things that I'm more proud of course, today, so I'm working, just doing something different, and it feels similar in some ways, now there's days where I do want to just like really put it behind me, like we go sometimes I feel like I went weeks without talking about the story, so that's why I'm a little rusty. I
But
try
I'm
to just
saying
put it
though,
behind me.
in that time, are you able to live and not just, like I said, it's hard because your wife is in prison to forget. But those moments in time where you've grinding and you hustling, you don't even you're not even you're in the moment and not even conscious of the past. You know,
Yeah.
where you can
Well,
forget it for a moment.
no, I think I do. I think I put it behind me at times. But the reality of my wife not being here and like waking up every day knowing that why she's away, and for something like that to happen to someone like Viv, man, it's really sad and disappointing. And I'm not saying like she's a victim. It's just you make decisions, where you just I don't know, like just you make foolish decisions and then you have to pay for it. But that's hard, bro. Like somebody in my eyes, I feel like completely innocent. All she did was marry the wrong person. Look where she's at. And so it's hard to forget that part. I guess what I'm saying is that all the negative stuff kind of stays with you.
So that, let's say, keep your head up. P, being a parent is the hardest job in the world, let alone having to be mom and dad.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But it's also like the most rewarding. That's for sure.
Somebody asked earlier, and I thought it was an interesting question. Oh, it was IB, as a matter of fact. IB asked the question something along the lines of, "Did you guys pick up any, like, in prison, any other spiritual things like yoga or meditation, or things like that?"
Man, I was in the word like daily, but I tried yoga. It's difficult, man. I think the weightlifting in that made it even harder. It was hard to kind of stay consistent. But like I said, my therapy was always get into the word, and cry out to the Lord for help and guidance and wisdom and peace, to lead us through that, those hard times and help us make right decisions.
Can you ask if they've ever found any type of closure in regards to what might have happened to their father?
Mhm. To that question, I think that I don't know about. I apologize. I don't know about closure. If closure even means anything anymore, you know.
Mm.
Um, I feel like it's something we don't talk about. Just because to everyone else it's like the story, right? Like, oh, how they want to know how we feel about it, but it's like I said it before. I feel like um, for me as a son, I feel like you have to understand the other side of it, that my father made the decision, and when you see someone choose that life, before his family, says everything.
Mm.
I don't think people think about that.
This is the life that this is what it comes with, right? I mean, what could we do? I
Facts.
mean, you know, some people. I mean, I don't like to question like the details. That's for sure. 'Cause if that's what people wonder,
Mm.
but there, that's just what this life brings, man. I mean, if you, like I said it before, you're making any, type of money in that business, or you're relevant. It comes with all this bullshit.
Mm.
And my dad lived it, his whole life. So, I mean, closure. I mean, it's like you have to move on, and think about your kids and think about the future. The kind of life you want to create for your own family.
Right.
And like even like a day like today, it's kind of hard. Besides being sick, we're today's my mom's anniversary. She passed away last year,
Mm.
so it's on our mind a lot. When I think about my mom and dad, being together finally.
And you know what? I want to say something like, my dad was in the game like for decades, and either way, it's like, people that say, well, our decisions, cost him his life, and I would say like, um, we tried our best to kind of make sure we kept our whole family safe as much as possible. And it's weird because if he would have just, um, uh, if something would have happened to him in the mix of us, um, like being in the life, like he got kidnapped twice.
Hmm.
Um, One time he got kidnapped for over 40 days with his 3-year-old son. Um, that would have been okay. You get me?
Mm.
Um, that would have been just fine. And I think that people don't get it.